What happens when you blend funk, metal, and a dash of experimental magic? Today we're going to find that out with this new band I just discovered. I did not plan to review this album, but it came into my inbox and I gave it a listen and I liked it, so I decided to go with it. The name of the band is Slope and the album is called Freak Dreams. The album is filled with weird timings, monstrous grooves, and brutal riffs. Let's get into it. So if you're new here, this is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. I do album reviews, rankings, and more. Let's get into some of the background for this album. The album was released on February 2nd, 2024 via Century Media Records. They're a German five-piece band and this is their second album. It has 11 songs. They mix genres of funk and metal. This is something that I have not heard in a while, maybe since the 90s. If you're a fan of 90s music, I think you'll enjoy this. The band cites three bands as their influences. The main one is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Not the modern Chili Peppers, but they draw their influence from their early stuff. I'm talking about Mother's Milk and the albums before that. They also list the Beastie Boys, that gives them a hip-hop sound, and they cite Rage Against the Machine. This is where the metal edge comes in. Together they blend the sound with some hardcore, and in the end they came up with a pretty unique album. One of the things I love about the 90s music, it was very relatable. I was in my early 20s and a lot of the music at the time spoke to me. What I like about this band is they write songs and lyrics about personal struggles and fighting the system, or you can even say they're raging against the machine. The goal is to have their music resonate with their listeners. I broke the album down into subsections based on different styles and influences that were dominant in the songs, but there's one song that stands out on its own, so I will get to that later. The first grouping of songs were the ones I felt were an early Red Hot Chili Peppers vibe. They were tracks number 1, 6, and 10. Track 1 is Talk Big. Here's a clip of that. You drive me crazy. Don't stop to believe. This was the first song that I listened to, and the first thing I thought was it reminded me a lot of early Red Hot Chili Peppers. Vocals reminded me of those old Anthony Kiedis vocals where he would shout lines into the mic and he would do these repetitive choruses. Another thing that reminded me of the Chili Peppers was they went into double time in the middle of the song. And that gave the song a lot of energy. They slowed it down afterwards. There was a funky bass interlude with some interesting drum percussions, and that came in towards the end of the song. Track 6 is True Blue. Here's a clip of that. Gives me a feeling I never knew. Makes me daydream. This was another one that reminded me of the earlier Chili Peppers that had a lot of funky guitar riffs and sing-alongable choruses. As always, the tempos change throughout the song. Sometimes they happen very suddenly, so they keep you on your toes. Track 10 is Freak Dreams. More of a funky song, again similar to the early Chili Peppers with clean guitar riffs and smooth singing. They use different vocal styles such as shouting, rapping, and singing. They brought in some heavy guitars that gave it an almost crossover thrash type of vibe. The song also had more rapping on it. Now the next grouping of songs is going to make you say, fuck you, I won't do it, you tell me. They were tracks 2, 5, and 9. Track 2 is called It's Tickin'. Here's a clip of that. The song took me by surprise. It started with some heavy guitar riffs and some 90s alternative melodic guitar melodies. They continue with the rap style vocals mixed with Rage Against the Machine meets Smashing Pumpkins guitar riffs. The song also has a tempo change and some faster vocal runs. Track 5 is Hectic Life. Here's a clip of that. This is a short 2-minute song. This one brings some heavy metal influence. The main riff gave me a Motorhead vibe. This is also the song where I hear the Beastie Boys influence in the rapping style vocals. The name of the song is Hectic Life. I thought the song had a very hectic rhythm that was always changing. Track 9 is Why Sad. Another funky song with those shouty Red Hot Chili Pepper style vocals. Here's a clip of that. The guitar riffs were interesting and they moved in a circular motion. This one also had some spacey parts and some psychedelic influence. Now for the next grouping of songs, this one had all the above elements, but there had some crossover punk styles. These songs will make you want a Pepsi. They were tracks 3, 4, and 8. Track 3 was Chasing High. Starts with a funky bass line, continues with some angry rap style vocals. They play some alt metal guitar riffs on the guitar, and what I like is they are constantly changing tempos and rhythm. I hear the crossover punk sound in this one, such as the influence from early Suicidal Tendencies. The song has a lot of energy and a bouncy rhythm. Track 4 was Nosedive, so here's a clip of that. Cool song. They used a clean guitar tone on the guitars, create some funky guitar riffs, alternating with some heavy distorted guitar riffs. This was a cool balance between the heavy and the light. There's a nice guitar solo, uses a funky, clean guitar tone, and this one I kind of thought of the band Infectious Grooves, but really a cool song. Track 8 was NBQ. Here's a clip of that. The song had more of a traditional metal edge, some heavier guitar riffs. The guitar sound mixed distortion and palm muting. This one had a crossover punk vibe as well. The last one is not a group, but one song that stood out amongst the others. And this was a song that had some extreme metal fusion. I'm talking about track number 11 called Out of the Blue Into the Black. Here's a short clip. This is probably the closest they have to extreme metal. The drums are almost like blast beats. The guitar riffs are heavy. They turned up the distortion. They turned up the metal. They didn't lose their funk. And reminded me a little of the band Bad Brains. It was heavy. It was energetic. They had time changes in the song. This was also a song close to 5 minutes, and they do some heavy foot stomping, stop-start guitar riffs in the last part of the song. Overall, the album surprised me because I wasn't expecting to hear anything like this. It was a nice change of pace from the typical metal albums that have been coming out recently. It was like a breath of fresh air. If you like 90s music with alternative and funk, check it out. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're a fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, check out this ranking video I did a couple of years ago. Please like this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in the next one.